Minnesota Twins, -1.5 in the under, 10 runs in that game. Next matchup, Reds, Braves. Reds, Braves. Come on now, there we go. 7:20 Eastern first pitch in Atlanta. The Braves are -130, totals 8.5. We saw a 15-cent move toward Atlanta and movement downward on the total. The Braves open $1.15 up to 130. Total open 9 down to 8.5. 60% are leaning Atlanta, 63% shaded toward the over. Right now the Reds are +120 on the money line. The Braves +$1.50 on the run line. We have the newly acquired Trevor Bauer for the Reds, Dallas Keuchel for the Braves. Keuchel's coming into this game with a 3.86 ERA and a 1.33 WHIP. Atlanta's 5th in scoring, 7th in hits, 4th in home scoring, 5th in offensive home walks. The Braves are 1st in the NL East, 65-46 overall for the year, 6 games ahead of Washington in the division, winners in 5 out of their last 8. One more thing to add about the Braves, they are 17-9 at the current market price. Now the Reds on the other side, winners in just 19 out of 48 as the official road underdog. The Reds are 23rd in road scoring, 26th in road hits. When it comes to the total, the Braves are 63% to the over at home when the line was 8 to 8.5. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Atlanta Braves -130 and the over 8.5 runs in that game. Next matchup, Tigers, Rangers, 8:05 Texas. The Rangers are -110, totals 9.5. We saw a nickel fade of the Rangers and movement downward on the total. Texas open $1.15 down to -110. Total open 10.5 down to 9.5. 55% are leaning Rangers, 63% shaded toward the over. Right now the Tigers are +105 on the money line. The Rangers +$1.65 on the run line. We have Matthew Boyd for the Tigers, Adrian Sampson for the Rangers. Sampson comes into this game with 86 strikeouts in just 108 innings. Matthew Boyd on the other side for the Tigers. Pretty good arm, but really no shot at winning ball games. He's just 6-8 on the year. Detroit is just absolutely terrible. And Texas, pretty good at home. Sorry, guys, my eyes are very itchy right now. I don't know if that's allergies or what. But anyway, Rangers, very good at home this year. 33-22 straight up at home. They are 3rd in home scoring. Now, the Tigers on the other side, they have the worst record in Major League Baseball, just 32-73 overall for the year, 41 games under 500. That is just absolutely deplorable. Will they get the 40 wins by the end of the year? I know that's only 8 wins away, but geez Louise, that's terrible. The Tigers, last in scoring, last in hits. I'm going to lean Texas Rangers, -110, and the over 9.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Nationals, Diamondbacks. 8:10 Eastern first pitch at Chase Field in Arizona. The Nats are -130, totals 8.5. We saw a 25-cent fade of Washington in the early wagering. We also saw movement downward on the total. Washington open $1.55 all the way down to 130. Total open 9 down to 8.5. 71% are leaning Nationals, 62% shaded toward the under. Right now the D-backs are +120 on the money line. Washington +$1.30 on the run line. We have Steven Strasburg for the Nats, Robbie Ray for Arizona. Strasburg comes into this game for Washington with a 14-4 record, 3.26 ERA, and a 1.04 WHIP. He also has 168 strikeouts in just 140 innings. Washington is in first place in the wild card standings. They're tied with the Chicago Cubs. Washington's 58-51 overall for the year. They're also 31-22 ATS away from home. The Nats are 7-0 in their last 7 in Arizona. They rank 5th in runs allowed on the road and 4th in striking batters out on the road. Now, the Diamondbacks on their side of things, they rank just 20th in home scoring. They've also won just 23 out of 50 at Chase Field, winners in 3 out of their last 9 ball games. Total-wise, Washington 14-6 to the under in their last 20. Give me the Nationals -130 and the under 8.5 in that game. Next ball game. Giants, Rockies, 8-10 Colorado. The Rockies are minus 125, totals 11.5. 10-cent fade of Colorado and moving downward on the total. The Rockies open 135 down to $1.25. Total open 12 down to 11.5. 65% are leaning Giants, 63% shaded toward the under. Right now, San Fran is plus 115 on the money line. Colorado plus $1.45 on the run line. We have Madison Bumgarner for the Giants, John Gray for Colorado. Gray comes into this game with a 1.36 whip. Mad Bum on the other side for the Giants, 3.74 ERA, 1.15 whip. He also has 140 strikeouts in just 139 innings pitched. The Giants are 13-6 in their last 19. They're actually just 3.5 games back in that second wildcard spot in the National League. The Giants are 35-22 against the spread away from home. They rank 7th in road scoring. The Rockies are last in the NL West, 8 games under 500 at just 51-59 overall for the year. They've also won just 5 out of their last 18 games. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the Giants plus 115 in the over 11.5 in that ball game there. Next matchup, Cardinals, Athletics, 907 Oakland. The A's are minus 150, totals at 9. Not a whole lot of movement on the total, but we did see a 15-cent move toward Oakland. They open 135 up to 150, totals at 9. 63% are leaning Oakland, 54% shaded toward the under. Right now the Cards are plus 140 on the money line, Oakland plus $1.35 on the run line. We have Dakota Hudson for the Cardinals, Mike Fiers for the Athletics. Now Dakota Hudson for St. Louis is 10-5 with a 3.88 ERA. St. Louis is 14-5 in their last 19 ball games, a perfect 5-0 in their last 5 on the road. Now right now St. Louis has 8 games over 500 at 58-50 overall for the year, and they're in first place in the NL Central. They rank 7th in runs allowed, 7th in hits allowed. Now the Athletics on the other side, 21st in hits, 28th in striking batters out. They're also just 27-31 against the spread at home. Now total-wise, the A's are 5-1 to the under in their last 6. The Cards are 5-1 to the under in their last 6 as well. Give me the St. Louis Cardinals plus 1.5 and the under 9 runs in that game. Next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Padres, Dodgers, 9-10 Los Angeles. The Dodgers are minus 245, totals at 8.5. We did see a nickel fade of the Dodgers on the money line. We also saw movement upward on the total. The Dodgers open 250, down to minus 245. Total open at 8, up to 8.5. 73% of the consensus is leaning toward Los Angeles, 71% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Padres are plus 225 on the money line. The Dodgers are minus $1.20 on the run line. We have Cal Quantrill for the Padres, Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. Buehler comes into this game with a 9-2 record, 3.38 ERA, and a 1.03 whip. The Dodgers have the best record in Major League Baseball. They're also 41-15 at home and first in offensive walks. Now the Padres on the other side, they're 4th in the NL West, 19.5 games back of these very Dodgers. They're also 7 games under 500 at just 51-58 overall for the year. Now the Padres have really struggled as of late, winners in just 6 out of their last 19 ball games. They're also 27th in striking out on average per game and 26th in hits. Now total-wise, the Padres are 80% to the over in their last 5. Give me the Dodgers minus 1.5 and the over 8.5 runs in that game. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Before I get out of here, I just got to remind you once again to check me out on my website, patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, links for that site are in the description section below, and they're actually broken down into the different packages that you can buy. Very, very easy, very convenient for you. We went 3-2 on Patreon yesterday, and that put us at 26-15 in our last 41 Patreon plays. So once again, patreon.com/BrockPage. Links for that site are in the description section below. Most importantly, I got to thank you for watching me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this free content, all this free information. And as always, best of luck to you. Happy Saturday. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.